Hey there, everybody. Diane Conklin here with Complete Marketing Systems. Thought I'd start a little controversy on a Tuesday afternoon. I think it's still Tuesday. There's been a lot of discussion. I've seen a lot of people talking about this whole Sydney Sweeney American Eagles ad. And I just want to kind of throw in my 2 cents worth here. You know, it's this whole, it's a jeans thing, and she's got good genes, Jeans, right? The first thing to understand is this is kind of an offshoot of a Calvin Klein's ad from years ago. But that being said, it's interesting to me that people are kind of up in arms about this. And here's the piece, right? It's the woke thing, it's the whatever. But as a marketer and as a business owner, what I looked at with this ad is, what was the impact? Well, the impact has been a big increase in American Eagles stock prices. Been up 17% over last month, and it's starting to take a little bit of a correction now. But here's the piece. Here's the thing to remember. If you're in marketing, if you own a business, you want to appeal to your target market. And I'm happy to have conversation about this, by the way. So if you have comments about this, please leave them, and I'll certainly interact, as long as nobody gets ugly, because this isn't about being ugly. But here's the piece. This is all about target market. This is all about who is your market. And if this ad didn't appeal to you, if you don't care for this ad, then it probably wasn't aimed at you. Because if stock prices are up 17% over last month, that means some sales were made. That means that this ad appealed to the target market that American Eagle was trying to go after. And if you're like me and you're a little older or whatever, it probably wasn't you. And so, there's all this thing about woke culture and eugenics, and I had to look up what that word meant. I probably pronounced it wrong, right? But they went after a particular target market. They went after the target market of the people who would buy these jeans, who like Sydney Sweeney. And from a business perspective, if you're a business owner, that's how you should look at this, right? And there are a lot of other ads we could talk about over the course of the last years, ads that were mistakes, that cost companies market share, which is never why you want to put an ad out or do advertising or marketing. But in this instance, all the people that have been talking about, how horrible it was, and the woke culture of it, and the internet has gone crazy on both sides, right? The piece of it from a business perspective that I want to emphasize is this ad worked. And my guess is, because it worked, you're going to be seeing more of these same kinds of things from American Eagle, whether it's with Sydney Sweeney or with somebody else. But the lesson from a business perspective is, how do you hone in on your target market with a message that they like and understand, that creates an action that creates profits for your company, right? And when you boil it down, in its simplest form, it comes down to three things: message, market, media. Those are the three things that really make a campaign work. The message was good to the target market. Those are two of the three. And the media must have worked too, right? So they had the right message to the right market. If it was the wrong market, it wouldn't have worked. If it was in the right media, it wouldn't have worked. All three of those things have to come together: message, market, and media. And it did in this instance. So whether you like the ad or you didn't like the ad, whether you're their target market or you're not their target market, whether you would ever buy jeans from American Eagle, whether you like Sydney Sweeney, we could get into all of that. But the bottom line from a business perspective is none of that matters. What matters is that the advertising, the marketing that they did worked inside of the target market that they were after. That's how you run a business. That's how you grow a business. That's how you market things. So I'd love to hear your input. I'd love to hear your comments if you have them. leave them in the post below, leave them below, or wherever, in the side, up and down, right? But that's kind of my take on the whole thing. We could look at all kinds of different ads from all kinds of different companies, and you would see the same kinds of things. It's about who their target was and the fact that it worked. So instead of being critical, go see what you can learn from the ad and apply to your own business. If you need help with that, let me know. Check it out. Diane Conklin with CompleteMarketingSystems.com. Happy to hear what you have to say. Have a great day.